What can you find on a passenger manifest? Possibly family treasure. Here are 8 pieces of information from a sample post-1906 passenger manifest. Although people have come to the United States since the founding of the country, it wasn't until 1907 that the Bureau of Immigration and Naturalization added the last piece of information on their standardized immigration passenger manifest for all ports in the United States. Let's see what you can find on a sample post-1906 manifest. Number 1. At the top of the manifest, you'll find the name of the ship, the date and port from which the ship left, and the date and port where the ship arrived. Even if your ancestors lived in New York, don't assume that all immigrants came through Ellis Island. On the East Coast, other ports of entry included Boston, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Savannah. Along the Gulf of Mexico, Key West, New Orleans, and Galveston, Texas. And along the West Coast, San Francisco and Seattle. And still other immigrants may have come into the United States through Canada, through St. Albans, Vermont, and Detroit. Number 2. The immigrant's name. Searching for the name of your ancestor may create some confusion. You may have heard stories that your ancestor's name was changed at Ellis Island. Generally speaking, that didn't happen. Why? Imagine you were buying a ticket and the clerk asked you your name. What would you answer? The name you were born with and what your family and friends called you. That's what went on the manifest, and when you left the ship, you were checked against the same list. You had to get off and on the boat with the same name. For our ancestors who use their Yiddish names, that's the name you need to search for. Names were Americanized to fit in after they came and lived in the United States. Number 3. The immigrant's last permanent address. This could be very helpful in finding a small town name from the old country. You may also be surprised to find that your ancestors may have left Eastern Europe for another destination, such as England, lived there for a while, and then came to the U.S. years later. Number 4. The name and address of a relative you left behind. This is similar to listing your next of kin in case of an emergency. A husband leaving first to set up life in the U.S. would most likely list his wife. When the wife and family came over, she might list her parents, who she lived with, giving you another generation of ancestors who remained in the old country. Number 5. The passenger's final destination. Here you'll find where the immigrant intended to go, even if they came into the United States through a coastal port city. That might provide you with a good clue when researching city directories. Number 6. Who was the immigrant meeting and where would he live? The immigrant agents wanted to make sure that an immigrant had a place to stay when they arrived and that they wouldn't become a ward of the state. These columns give you the name and address of the person who the immigrant was meeting, along with their relationship. In many cases, the person the immigrant met was a close relative, so you might find more familial records. Number 7. The immigrant's physical description. Maybe you never knew or even saw a photo of your ancestor. These columns will give you some physical traits so you can let your imagination picture what your ancestor looked like. And number 8, the town and country of birth. If you're lucky, you may find the name of the actual small town or shtetl of birth instead of a larger, closer town or a region name. This could be very helpful in finding old country vital records. So where can you find these records? Well, there are free sites and pay sites. Take a look at this finding aid to help you find passenger manifests. This has been another helpful video from the Jewish Genealogy Society of Long Island. Please visit our website at www.jgsli.org for more information on our monthly speakers, beginners workshop, and other projects and resources. And visit our Facebook page where you can take part in conversations with experienced researchers. Whether you're on Long Island or an out-of-towner, we'd love to hear from you. Good luck with your research.